Hey guys, how you doing? We're in the middle of Warsaw, in apartment row is what I'll call it, as I'm zigzagging right now through these complexes, trying to get over to my favorite park, Łazienki. Did I pronounce that right? I hope I did. It always strikes me as interesting, like, you get all these vlogs from the city of all, like, the most popular areas and stuff like that. But I don't really see a lot of, like, everyday living. Maybe I just haven't watched enough. Who knows? But anyway, I think we've covered the tourist stuff. So today we're gonna get in the sights a little bit. And when I say the sights, I mean a little bit more historical. This complex is huge. Quite huge, actually. All right, cut underneath this and be on to greater and better things. So in between the hustle and bustle of traffic and construction, we managed to cross the street. You can see my apartment building is the middle one, or at least it's connected to it if you keep going farther down. It is definitely louder here than where we were previously. But I promise you, and very shortly, it'll be significantly quieter. But I wanted you to really hear what Poland's all about in the summer. Construction. Lovely Poland. Now, being the trained locals that we are, we've cut down now away from this fray. And it should be a little bit better now. A little bit more peaceful on this walk to someplace I've never been to before, actually, that I've wanted to go to. And I keep running by the location, the general location, but today's the day. Today's the day we do this. We've come from that way, and now we're almost to the entrance to the palace. But I wanted to point out the wonderful Warsaw graffiti. Sometimes I just don't get it. So as I said, directly to your right is the Royal Łazienki Museum. And depending on the way you want to go in, there's a lot of cool parts to it, actually. I love it. It's one of my favorite landmarks here. I would go as far as say it's my favorite park here too. But I don't want to be, too dramatic about that because, the Saxon Park and I have a good relationship as well. But, we all have our preferences. But you tell me what you think, okay? There appears to be a senior citizen group walking in the direction I wanted to go, so we are skipping that part of the tour. I apologize. I do apologize. The Chinese gardens are right over here. Wasn't intending to show you this, but we came in on this entrance, so I might as well show you where I believe the Mandarin ducks, this is where they call home, in between their consorting with the local birds. I don't remember the story about this. I want to say it was a gift from the Chinese government. Could be wrong, but I'm sure it was used to help promote relations. So see, you have the traditional guards, if you will. I don't know. There you go. Look at them. Looks a little bit like my cat on a bad day, when I had a cat. And then what they have here, it's not really the same thing. Jeez. I just realized this is going to be really annoying today because for whatever reason, we're just gonna cut through. Screw it. I don't think I've ever been through this park at this time of day. Usually when I'm here, it's in the way early morning hours when the park is barely even awake. Or last time I was here, it was in the afternoon. It was pouring out, and it was like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. But I'm not used to people, so it's not that it's that crowded. It just takes away from the ability to film it well. But don't you worry. I don't know if... Oh, I scared him. I was trying to get this red squirrel. Oh, hi. Do you see me? Hello. Oh, do I have something for you? What's this? What is this? Do you want to check it out? He's thinking about it. This one has obviously not been confused before. Oh, here we go. He's coming up. Come on. Come say hi. The pigeons have come over. We are having an introduction. Here we go. Don't do this at home, kids. Come on. You want to touch my hand? You want to touch my hand? Do you see anything you like? No? Alright, I'll see you later. Bye, buddy. That's a score for me, guys. If you saw the original March vlog from the previous channel, I tricked one of those guys into eating, to getting like a walnut from me, but it was an empty walnut shell and the thing threw it away. Oh, that's awesome. And because of all these people wanting to take pictures of the statue, they're missing the best part, which is the palace right over here. And here's what it looks like when it's not so busy. Truly, it's a beautiful spot. I forget the story of this. I know that there's like a bunch of... They had like the bass that they were famous for here. And I wanted to say this was the royal families, but the Belvedere Mansion is on the other side, or the Belvedere Estate, if you will, is on the other side of this. And in our case, we're using this today as a means to cut through, basically a shortcut. And there she is. Can you see her? Kind of nestled back there. Beautiful palace. It's awesome. I think it's been the theme of our last couple videos, huh? Showing you what the good life is. You can just imagine for yourself like what it was like to live in this area. I like how it's open to the public. It's really rather cool, especially in the fall. The leaves are falling. Great views. Here's a closer view of the palace. All crude as I can make it. Jeez. So there's two lions out front again. There's something about royalty and Poland. All of the palaces. Like tomorrow, we're going to be in Białystok or Białystok. Bunch of lions. Hey, look, it's really cool. It was rather lovely, but if I'm being honest with you, where we're going for our next vlog, the Branicki Palace, I like it more. You'll see why. Again, here's the other side of the palace right here. I know we're kind of doing this fast, but really it's just a walk by. Beautiful flowers that are up. Now, in the spring, when I've been here like early spring, the water's frozen. And it's kind of fun. You can see how the ducks and the geese are navigating it. And also on these grounds, there's like a peacock. There's several of them that you'll find as well. So here's for like the gondola to go underneath. So I don't know if we're going to come across that. We'll see. I did promise, well, I didn't promise, but I did come out here to check on, to see if the Mandarin ducks are still here. I don't think they are. It looks like Thomas the Fawn. He's looking for Lucy. Is this place magical? It really is, actually. And I would say I'm showing you a shortcut or something special, but if you just wander around this place aimlessly, you'd find the same things. But again, there's a whole different type of energy if you're here in the early morning hours before everyone and their friend decides to come walk through. But now this part here, their amphitheater, is actually really, really cool. Worth looking at as well. Oh, and you can see the peacocks. So like the peacock I was telling you about, where they like wander. There's one right there. I have a suspicion that my loop right now is going to be basically worthless. Oh, I see this little girl. This is kind of funny. She literally has in her hands a bunch of peacock feathers. So I'm hoping that what she did is she probably just saw them and picked them up. She didn't like run over to that peacock we just saw and rip them out. I wouldn't put it past some of the kids though. They're monsters. They really are. And that's coming from a teacher. Now, I figured we'd check here. There are ducks, but I do not see the Mandarin duck, although the Mandarin duck hung out farther down. And I suspect the duck left for the season. I know I would have. It's pretty cool actually being down here, because in contrast to all that noise we had, I hear a lot of birds. And you already saw the red squirrel. What a cutie. We've left the park now and are back in the apartment row, as I like to call it. Look at these flowers. This is why so many people love the summer season, because it's colorful and warm. And I think we're passing the Saudi Arabia embassy. I had to change my camera. Different directions, you know. I think I know where we are. I'm trying to zigzag us through basically all of these apartment buildings, or a lot of them were built for the government officials back in the 50s and 60s. At least that's what my viewers told me last year. So, there you have it. But if you didn't know any better, it's like a huge maze, though, of different communities. All the buildings look very similar. Some are kept up nicely, and then, and others not so much. But if you're looking for like the more like traditional apartment buildings that are common in this part of the world, here's where you go. However, I say that, I bet you many of you haven't seen a pink apartment building. Let's see if I can find it. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack. I don't remember all these wheelchair accessible ramps being installed. So maybe I'm too far down, or not far enough over. I don't know. If you guys start seeing cool looking graffiti of like dogs, we've hit the right spot. If you don't see the dog, then I gotta have to look at my maps. I think I've navigated us back in the general vicinity of where I want to be. They're still doing construction over here too. They've been forever. It feels like this main road down here. But, oh, this is different. So last time I was here, every little turn that I made, there were like dogs. Oops. Shit. And we just passed that guy instead, the Mary Mook. Alright, I know where I am. Whew. Took me long enough. That car threw me off because it's a sidewalk that they were driving on. Very, very odd. Alright, so if I'm in the correct spot, if we go down this stretch right here, we should come across a spray painted, well, some graffiti of a dog. Unless they got rid of it, which if they did, it's really, really tragic. So note though, you got the two buildings right here. And then there's like a common play area. Yeah, like this is your residential life, guys. So where everyone else is enjoying the nightlives of NOWY SWIAT, I think I said that right. Here's what housing looks like. Oh, we found, okay, it's not a dog. Well, it is. All right. We have found the promised land. Look at this guy. Look at him. Hey, buddy, I missed you. Some phone numbers over there, too, but I won't. Well, you can just pause the camera and look them up. All right. Well, whew. Never knew if I was ever going to get that on camera again. In fact, if you look at my Instagram, Travel with Mr. John, if you go down, you'll see one of those guys. Yeah. From March of 2023. That was the last time I was in this neighborhood. This graffiti's not as happy. So now, the next part, now that we've hit that, is I'm looking for a specific colored building. And then, it's like a musical chair game. Can you find the first thing? Can you find the second? What is rather amazing, though, is, again, there's, like, I don't know what their schedule is. Like, some parts are immaculately groomed, and then others, it's due. I kind of like the wild approach, though. All right. Ooh, we found it. We found it. Oh, hold on. So in all of these apartment buildings, some of them are very drab in color. But then, especially during the wintertime, if you're coming through here and you're looking out, what's more inviting than a pink apartment building? Don't you think? Do you guys like it? I like it. It actually gets darker. So this is like a light pink. And I know some of you are like, you know what? I can't live in a light pink building. I'm like, you know what? I can do better. How about this one right here? Oh my God. It's a Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo's back. So here's the hot pink apartment building. And not to be discouraged or to sell you better on it, but here's the magical mystery van from Scooby-Doo. It's still here. Isn't that exciting? Scooby-Doo lives in that pink building. Hey, they finished this up. Oh my God. Oh, it'll be like how it was years ago when I was here. Oh, look at that, guys. You can see the building now in all of its glory. In all seriousness, this just happens to be the way that we're walking. It's not the reason why we're walking. There is a outpost, as I'll call it. So there's a memorial to the Warsaw Uprising, and that's what we're trying to find. And they used, to build the memorial, they used like the rubble from the destruction of the city in World War II. So that's what we're trying to find. You guys have no idea how much nicer it is now to not have this torn up. May it be the road or the sidewalk. It was just a pain. So the fact that this is now all done, I wonder if it was done back in March. Sorry, back in February when I was here. I don't think it was. But then again, I only ran over at Łazienki. So, I don't know. Give you more perspective of different parts of different buildings that have come up over the years. That's a new one. Right there, that baby. And what we're doing, we're just zigzagging over. We gotta cross this busy road now. And then I have to figure out where the high point is. In an ingenious way to make sure we don't kill ourselves crossing the street, busy street, they put this nice overpass right here. I don't know if this is the most direct way, but this is the way that usually when I'm running, and if I see cars, I fight the good fight on this one. Now, here's a question for my Warsaw residents who are seeing this right now, in front of Don Vito Pizzeria and all the graffiti that's lined up over here. Is this the most dangerous section of town? Is it? Or is there somewhere else I should go? I mean, you guys told me before, but I don't remember. I swear you said it was here. And based off of, you know, all those beautiful sketches and the wonderful care for the yards, maybe this is it. Maybe this is as bad as it gets here. But then again, now we're going to the other side of the road. Gotta figure out where this high point is. I do not know. I do not know. We are 0.3 miles away if I was a bird. If we just went that way, through the buildings and over. But I did look on the map, and it appears that I guess you just can't get in that way. So now I'm swinging around to get out of this development, and then I guess I'll take the proper entrance to the Warsaw Uprising Monument, which, as a matter of fact, and I'll look up the number, I took a picture of it, has the most steps in all of Warsaw. Remind me that sometime we're going to have to actually film vlogs on the other side of the river, like where the zoo is. On my first trip to this area, it's actually someplace where I went. Oh, here's the Biedronka. I like Biedronka. It's affordable. There's a wonderful invention. Pulling your in-post out of the box Pack-O-Mat. Love it. Alright. Cross here and then see where the heck we are. Never been over here, guys. As you can see, it's quite the hot spot. Wish I had something more profound to say, but I don't. It's a little scuzzy. It's a little bit ironic, though, too, because if we hadn't cut through the neighborhood, and if we had just kind of gone straight, they put in from like here to the river, like there's a beautiful like residential neighborhood, and then there's all new stuff. But yeah, not so much here. Not so much here. I'm gonna look at the map. I'm feeling a little uncomfortable. In a really beautiful section of town, and I hope you can hear the sarcasm in my voice. We have made it to the base of the stairs that will take us to the top of the Warsaw Uprising Memorial. And I believe, I could be wrong, I'm sure I could read all this, but they're demonstrating here how they built this mound. They put a little sign here. They want to make sure that it's clear that you should not stand here during a thunderstorm. I like that. It's very good. And again, I believe when they decided to make the rubble heap into the monument, this thing that we're walking on was made out of all of this rubble. Like this right here. Think the Krakus mound, but made out of made out of the ashes of Warsaw after the destruction caused by the Germans, and we'll say the continuation by the Soviet Union, or more like their inability to help. Okay. Now, all these steps, again, this is the most steps that you're going to get to anything in this city. It's a short walk, you see. I don't know, I think it's like 500 steps, maybe 335. Could take the ramp, but no, we will take the 350 steps up, across the 35 landings that they have in place. I guess they feel like people can only handle 10 steps at a time before they have to rest. I don't know. Although they do have chairs throughout. Now, they have rules in this park. Various rules such as stay on the marked paths like this. Don't be trekking along in the natural habitat that they want nature to take over and to claim for itself. I mean, all these trees, if I'm understanding right, hopefully I didn't make any of this up. All of the trees, you know, they've only grown up since this thing was built. I think it's cool that they have a monument marking the Warsaw Uprising, because it really was a pivotal, I think, time during the war. All right, here we go. Getting winded. Imagine doing this as a step workout. Where'd those people come from? Want you to know I haven't stopped yet. I'm still going. Probably could have shot this and sped it up and showed you what it looked like in that way. But I'm going to stop for a second to show you how far up we've gone. And we keep going and going. I like the lights. I think this park is open, if I remember right, 24 hours a day. And I was correct. There's a bloody ramp. Lazy. Or should I just say smart? Right. And there she is. So there's the monument itself. And all these people are standing on the high point, so I have to wait for them to move. But again, you'll see the markings for 1944. Again, you'll see the markings from 1944 and the metal that they raised that off of. Again, they're warning us to not stand here during a thunderstorm. I promise I would. I know I lack common sense, but it's something I would not do. Although I do want to touch it. It's a piece of history right here. A piece of the wreckage, the destruction, but not, well, the destruction of the city, but not the destruction of the morale or the people. And these, like, 5 people are taking pictures. It's like, guys, it's more than just you on this rodeo. Typical tourist, you know what I mean? Now, it's a shame these trees are here now, because when they weren't here, you wouldn't have gotten a view of the downtown area. And instead, really all that you have is the other side of the community over here. Wow, look at that power plant. And then look at those nice apartment buildings. Better view right here. Yeah, so there's the monument. And I suggest you go during the winter, because a lot of this foliage, the flowers, everything will be down. It'll be easier to see and to take in. And I wonder if the locals actually appreciate what this really means. Because they're all giggles right now. All giggles. Alright guys. Thanks for coming on the tour today. Thanks for letting me show you the palace grounds. Walking through some of those residential areas. Again, that were really popular for the government officials. Wink, wink. The communists. And yeah, and then seeing this beautiful monument. All right, guys. Till next time. Peace.